Welcome back to another episode of Off the Carousel here on the field of 68. And I'm thrilled to be joined today by new Texas head coach, not interim head coach Rodney Terry. RT, what's going on, man? How you doing? Good to see you.
Rob, you got it, man. I'm just living the dream, man, every day.
So last year, roller coaster of a season, right? Preseason top five. Then everything happens with Coach Beard. You get the interim gig. Then you're named head coach. Kind of take me through what the emotions of last season were for you now that you're looking back, now that we're kind of 3 months removed from everything.
Well, again, I think, obviously we set out, with our team a year ago and, had aspiration and goals just like all teams throughout out the country. And that was to try to win a Big 12 championship and try to win a national championship. And I think through it all, I think our group really was one of the groups that probably more than anybody in the country persevered and handled all the different, adversity that we need to handle throughout the course of the season, whether it be in games, off the court. I thought our guys really excelled at a very high level and really just staying the course, man, and putting themselves in position to try to attain all the goals that they wanted for that season.
So you mentioned the goal was to win a championship, national championship, Big 12 championship. You guys, of course, came short of that, but you ended up having a really good year in the Big 12. You ended up making a run to the Elite Eight, and given everything that you went through, I think it's from the outside, it's very hard to look at that as anything other than a very successful year. You guys obviously have different expectations than guys like us that are kind of watching from the outside. How do you feel about it when you look back? Are you happy with the way the season went? Are you frustrated that you didn't end up cutting down any nets? Where do you stand?
Well, I think we had a great season. Anytime you win, 29 games, I think it was the third most games we won in school history. And I've been a part of, teams here where we won 30 games as well. And you always looked at those as great seasons as well. We won a Big 12 tournament championship, only second time we've done that as a member of the Big 12. I was part of 5 games where we didn't do that. So we had a chance to do that. Thought we had a team that obviously, like any given year, you want to try to compete for a national championship here at Texas. Thought we had a team that could be one of those type teams. But again, when you reflect back on the year, man, we had an incredible season. We really did. We had a team that was probably the most connected team I've been a part of in 32 years, and they were all about just winning.
So for us on the field of 68, whether or not you would get the head coaching job was a huge talking point throughout the year. We probably brought it up maybe every time after every game that you guys won. For you in that locker room, was it something that ever came up? Was it even a talking point? Like, how were you able to keep that on the outside of what you guys were doing?
Robert, it never really was. I think between myself and our staff, I think the thing that we were just committed to was just trying to really enjoy the journey with this group. We had a really good group that we enjoyed being around every single day, whether it was on the court, in the film room, individually meeting with guys. We just love being around those guys in that group, man. And I think when we got lost in that and just trying to put those guys in the best positions to be successful, there was really no thought at any point about, hey, are you going to get the job or not get the job? It was more about, can we win the Big 12? We're playing the best league in the country, and we think we have a team good enough to win a national championship.
And as long as you win, everything takes care of itself, right? That's kind of the mindset you got to have.
Well, I think it always does, even in big picture. Even when if I asked all our guys if they all wanted to be in the NBA next season, they all want to be in the NBA. They all want to be first team all league. Your team has to win at an elite level for you to get those individual accolades and have those opportunities. So, I always say to our guys, and I've always have since I've been here, we win at an elite level, everybody gets a chance to eat. That's the term our guys use. They want to eat, everybody gets a chance to eat.
Well, RT, I know what the NBA paychecks look like, and I too would love to be in the NBA right now. I don't think that's a bad job to have.
That's right. That's right.
I know I was down there in November to visit with you guys. I know that Chris had a very specific vision about how he wanted to build this program, right? From the home court advantage he wanted to build, from the way he wants the arena, the feeling in the arena to be, to the fan outreach, to putting all of this stuff into practice facilities and putting it all into developing this program that in his vision, and then all of a sudden he's gone, right? How much of that are you trying to follow, and how much of that are you trying to kind of make your own? Because there were a lot of stuff was put into motion, right?
I think again, Rob. I think collectively as a staff, I think it really was, and obviously, give Chris a lot of credit. He spearheaded a great deal of that in terms of really trying to get, I think, really good interaction with our fan base, our students in particular on campus, trying to create a home court. I thought it was very beneficial for us last season. We opened a new building, the Moody center, and we just didn't take it for granted that people were just going to show up and want to be there in a new center. Thought we did a great job, and he did a great job in working alongside our marketing department to really, get people excited about Texas basketball, in particular in our home court. We also we opened up a new practice facility this past year, and it's been great for our guys. It's been great for recruiting. But again, just a home that we have that we can come in and take a lot of pride in developing our players and kind of a one-stop shop to where we can get everything accomplished we need to in this building. Player development, we've always hung our hat on from the time that our guys get to campus to the time they leave. They're better players, they're better people, and hopefully they're on their path to where they want to go from a professional standpoint in the game of basketball. But no question, we really built a really good infrastructure of our culture and what we do every day.
So it took a while for this offseason to really get going for you guys, right? You lost a couple pieces early on in the spring, but slowly but surely you added a freshman here, a transfer there. You got Dylan Mitchell coming back. Was there ever a point early on where you were kind of nervous, like, oh man, like I don't know if we're going to be able to get this thing right?
No, I think again, I think just like any ebb and flow of a season, you can't ever get too high, you can't ever get too low. And at the end of the day, Rob, I mean, you're doing what you love to do. I mean,
Hmm.
I love recruiting. I love working with young people. I love coaching our team. And when you start talking about roster management, it's about trying to put a team together. At Texas, we can go out and we can recruit a number of different guys, but you got to recruit the right guy and the right fit for what you're trying to do and what you're trying to build, and also the right blend of guys in terms of that you're trying to put together to play. But it's been a lot of fun getting a chance to re-recruit Tyrese Hunter to come back and have a chance to continue his career here at the University of Texas and continue to be able to work with him moving forward. Man, it's been an incredible opportunity. Same thing with Dylan Mitchell. Having a chance to re-recruit him and get him back to wanting to be here and being excited about being here. Dylan DeSue, likewise, we know what we have with Brock Cunningham coming back and being part of that, and then you go out and get a guy like Max, who's, obviously had a lot of experience winning at a very high level, and get a chance to bring him on board as well. Caden's played in NCAA tournament games. Recently here we just got IT to jump on board as well. So just putting the right fit and the right guys together that complement one another in terms of trying to put together a winning team.
Yeah. So you mentioned Dylan Mitchell. He's the one that's really interesting to me. We have John Henson on our network, and I guess Dylan played for John Henson's AAU program in like 14s and 15s or something like that. But John talks about him all the time, and I think they're both Tampa guys. And he loves the kid, and he fully believes that we haven't seen the full Dylan Mitchell. We have yet to live the full Dylan Mitchell experience. So, how do you bring that out of him? How do you get a kid that I don't know if it was confidence or just took him a while to adjust to the level? How do you get the best out of him this season?
Well, Rob, again, I think as young players, we got a chance to coach one of the best freshmen to ever play college basketball, and Kevin Durant here.
Hmm.
And
He's right there on the wall behind you. I can see him.
that guy with the world championship behind us and a couple of MVP player in the NBA. But again, I think even Kevin coming in, there's peaks and valleys with young players. I think the biggest challenge for young players is to reach a level of consistency to where every night, you're going to get what you're going to get from those guys every single day. And Dylan Mitchell was a guy that came in and played with an older team, and an older team that really embraced him and really tried to make him better and understand what it was going to take to be successful at this level. You can come in with all the kind of different accolades from high school. You're still stepping up another level in terms of how you have to bring it every single day. I thought Dylan really made a lot of progress from the start of the year to the end of the year, with a lot of expectations coming in. I thought he handled himself really well. I thought there were games where he played extremely well and played at a level to where, I thought he could have been a guy that was going to be in the green room. I think now it just gets to a point where he does it every single day and he's consistent doing it at an elite level. And a lot of times, players get caught up that it has to be scoring. It doesn't always have to be scoring. He can be an elite level defender, switch 1 through 5, sit down and go at a point guard. Tristan Thompson behind me, he made a lot of money being able to do that, and with a lottery pick coming out doing that as well. Rebounding the basketball at a high clip, playing with the elite motor. I think, lends himself an opportunity to be a top 10 pick next year.
So Dylan Mitchell is, you got him back, freshman, coming back for a sophomore season, right? You didn't get all of your freshmen back. And one of the big talking points that I had conversations with coaches with down in Peach Jam last week is that it's not always the case that you're going to get those freshmen back. What is the value in the continuity of being able to get a guy? Dylan might only be there for 2 years, but some of these freshmen, 3, 4, being able to build your program that way versus building your program through the portal. I mean, 5 of 6 of your top whatever guys are going to be transfers this season. So how do you balance that?
Well, I think anytime you're able to have continuity and getting any returning player to come back in your program that plays significant minutes for you is always huge. In Dylan Mitchell's case, he's a freshman coming back now, embarking on his sophomore year. He's going to be physically more mature this next season. There's going to be, opportunities this year where he's not going to get overpowered physically in games. And he's going to be mentally and physically tougher throughout games, and even practices for that matter. You continue to work on his skill set at a very high level. He's only going to get better and better. But he played in postseason play. He won a Big 12 conference tournament. He got a chance to play in 4 NCAA tournament games, I believe it was. You can't substitute that kind of experience and having that come back and be a part of your next upcoming season. It's very valuable to have those type of guys come back.
So now that you have a chance to kind of build Texas basketball in your own image, what are you looking for? Like in an ideal world, what does Rodney Terry basketball look like?
Well, I think Texas basketball, I think you start number one where we're gonna be a team of high character, gonna be a team that's kind of a servanthood kind of team that's always wants to give back, whether it be to the community, back to our student body. I think, we're going to be, a program and a team that has a lot of humility. You know what I mean? You have to be humble, and I think, again, at the end of the day, I think you have to have a great program with guys that are great teammates. We have a locker room full of great teammates, then we're probably going to have an opportunity to have a great season and a great team. But just a hard playing team that competes every night, puts pressure on the basket in transition, guards really hard defensively. Unselfish team, shares the basketball, and at the end of the day, plays for one another.
Last year, the Big 12 was the best conference in college basketball. There hasn't been a team that ranked outside of the top 65 on KenPom in the last 2 years in the league. This year, they add Houston, BYU, Cincinnati, and UCF. 4 really good basketball programs, including one that is maybe a top 5 program over the last 5 or 6 years in the sport period. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for what the Big 12 is going to be next year?
Well, you know what? I mean, last year was a stellar year for the Big 12. I mean, again, I think year in and year out, I think this will be my 13th year in the Big 12. You're always going to have great coaches. We got coaches in our league that coached in the Final Four, won national championships. So you're going to get elite level coaching. I think there's always been elite level talent in the Big 12. We play a physical brand of basketball in the Big 12 as well. So, again, with the new teams coming in, you got great coaches, great players, really good programs that have been highly successful. And again, I think it's going to be from top to bottom. It's going to be no nights off in our league.
So last season, this is what I'll end it with for you. Last season, You guys made a run to the Elite Eight and came like a half away from making it to the Final Four. What did you take away from that run? What did you take away from those 3 wins? What did you learn from the loss? And how do you use that to move the program forward?
Well, I think I hope I'd have a hungry team that wants to come back and try to take it a step further. You know, you have a guy like Tyrese Hunter comes back for his junior year. He's the guy that's played in the Sweet 16, his freshman year. He's the guy that went to the Elite Eight a year ago. He's coming back for his third year of college basketball, and you're hoping that he has a hunger and a desire to want to try to get to the Final Four and be in a position to try to win a national championship. So I think again, every year you embark on a season where you got to it's a marathon with the season, but you got to want to have an aspiration and want to try to win a national championship. And I know at Texas, every program on our campus is elite and can win a national championship. So the expectations, the standards are what the standards are at the University of Texas.
Well, listen, RT, I'm happy for you, man. You know, I'm going to be rooting for you at Texas. You know, I want to see good things for you. Appreciate you jumping on here with us today on Off the Carousel.
Appreciate you, Rob. Thanks for having me, buddy.
Our partner for today's episode is Athletic Greens. I started taking AG1 during the college basketball season, and I loved the impact that it had on my energy levels. I'm a big coffee in the morning guy, but by the time that the afternoon would hit, I needed another boost. AG1 helped me tremendously, especially on those days when I didn't want to get up off the couch and go hit the gym. Their tagline is AG1 is comprehensive health and the power of habit in one. And man, that could not be more true. It's nearly impossible to eat and drink in a healthy manner in the month of February and the month of March when you are in my business. And AG1 was exactly the supplement that I needed to improve my gut health and cover my nutritional basis for the day. I've continued that into April. I've continued that into May, and I'm going to continue that the rest of the summer. All I have to do is mix a scoop of AG1 with some water or maybe add it into a smoothie, and I'm ready to go. Do it after lunch, and you'll be ready to go for the rest of the day. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/field68. That's field 68 FIELD, the number 6, the number 8, and you can get yours now. So check it out and help support this show. Thanks.